A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. Whoosh, that is so good. You see, the quality of life that we live is not a function of our economy primarily. It's first a function of our vision. My name is Debola Deji-Kurumi, and I am delighted to join you at this epoch-making convening this year. It's a joy to see all of the amazing things that this conference is going to do in your life and to think about how you're going to move forward on the account of some of the insights that will come through at the conference. I have the extraordinary opportunity of sharing on the purpose and power of vision today. And in this short time, I hope that I'm able to just put a dent in your soul in a positive way and get you really thinking again about the kind of man or woman you're becoming on the visionary lane. Okay, let me share with you a few quotes that I found truly inspiring, and I feel like they would help us set off the conversation in the most powerful way. The first one here is by Rosabeth Mons Cantor, and she says, "A vision is not a picture of what could be. It's not just a picture of what could be. It is an appeal to our better selves, a call to something more." This is so good. The second one over here is by Jonathan Swift, and he says, "Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others." I love this one so much. Vision is actually the art of seeing what is invisible to others. Really good. The third one is by Simon Sinek, and he's such a great author. You should read him. He says, "Vision is a destination." Really good. "A fixed point to which we focus all our effort. Strategy is a route, an adaptable path to get us where we want to go." This fourth one is really good, and it is by James Broughton. He says, "The only limits are, as always, those of vision." If you're facing any limit in your life, they can be broken if you just, create or receive a vision that is greater than that limitation you're facing. Look at this one by Vance Haven. He says, "The vision must be followed by the venture. It is not enough to stare up the steps. We must step up the stairs," right? So it's not just about looking at where we want to go, but actually moving in the direction of where we want to go. I love it. I've got two more for you, and they're by unknown people. They're anonymous quotes, but I think you'd love them. This sixth one says, "A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past." Whoosh, that is so good. And the final one is likely my favorite today. It says, "If you create a vision for your life, doors will open." If you create a vision for your life, doors will open. So tell me, take a moment to think about these 7 quotes, and which did you find most striking? I'm just so curious to know what came through to you as a powerful light bulb moment. For me, it's definitely the final one. Everything hit on a different level for me. But this one about if you create a vision for your life, doors will open. I know this one for real. And it's been the story of my life on multiple levels. Now, in 2012, I started to carry a burden, about 11 years now. I started to really crystallize the burden I'd always actually carried for gender advocacy, public policy, social impact, and nation building. And at the time, I was in a high-paying consulting job. I came to the point where I started to be unable to resist that burden that was so strong in my soul. And I said to myself, it's time to actually move out of the consulting practice and get into an opportunity to be groomed for nation building and public policy. And that's what I did. I quit my job at Philips Consulting back then, and I actually got a scholarship from Coca-Cola Foundation to join the Pan-Atlantic University's Social Sector Management, PGD. And the goal in my heart was really to build a consulting practice that enabled nonprofit professionals to actually be at their best and create change in the world. It's been actually how many years? 8 years since that time. I went on to actually found this consulting firm in 2015, January 2015, and it's been 8 phenomenal years. Of course, from establishing the consulting firm, I've gone on to do so many other things. building a coaching practice with over 75,000 members in more than 100 countries of the world, writing 22 books, growing my non-denominational Christian ministry, and building a Bible school. So I have gone ahead to put my heart and hands in different expressions of my vision and my burden to create change in the world. And I can tell you a few things about the power of vision and how it is actually the bridge between where we are today and where we could go next. And I think that Evolve and Influence Conference is doing a powerful thing, getting us in the room, having this conversation about the power of vision. Vision is the image that you carry in your heart about a preferred future. Vision is the tomorrow that you see today that will unfold if you put in the work. Vision is who you could become that you have not yet become. Vision is where you could go that you haven't yet gotten. Vision is that compelling idea that you carry in your heart about the role you can play in the world. And it moves you to the point of saying, I have to make this different. I have to be a better person, you see. And finally, it's important to let you know that vision isn't merely a matter of where we want to go, the impact we want to create, the projects we want to execute, the world we want to live in. While all these things are important parts of the visionary journey, allow me to say one of the biggest ways to think about your vision is who you can actually become. And that's why what Rosabeth said is so powerful. And I'll take you back there. It was the very first quote I shared with you today. And she says, a vision is a picture. It's not just a picture of what could be. It's an appeal to our better selves, a call to become something more, to become someone more, to unlock the potential that you carry. And so if you're at the conference this year, whether you're joining in person or virtually, I want you to know that there is more to you. And that's not just a cliche. That is such a powerful statement of truth concerning the possibilities that exist in your life that you have not yet actually unlocked. So let's talk a bit about the dimensions of vision that you're actually meant to carry in your heart as a young person. And then we'll get on to what are the activators of vision? What things could you get into that could really open you up to the possibilities of a life of vision? So if we have said that vision is a compelling picture of a preferred future for which you're willing to pay the price, make the investments, put in the work to see that dream become reality. If we're saying that vision gives you a compass for the future you desire and plots the graph of where you are to where you want to go next. If we're saying that no nation can be built without vision, no life can be fully maximized without vision, no potential can be unlocked without vision, no organization can thrive without vision, no family can, really prosper without vision, then what kind of vision should we carry in our hearts today? What dimensions of the visionary life are important if we're going to be a people who learn not just to satisfy the status quo or just go about as victims of the ordinary, right? There is actually a whole phenomenon called the tyranny of the ordinary. And it's just this enslavement that so many people are bound by in their lives. They are just slaves and victims of the ordinary. They wake up and go to work and come back and have children, and then they die. But we know that there is a design for humanity from God that is greater than just living to die, you see, that is greater than just being average, trading blames all the time, being superficial, never really getting to a place of genius and greatness, the type that is already locked up on our inside, waiting for expression. Since we know that good is often the enemy of great, it's important to start to ask ourselves, what are the key arenas where I must carry a vision? Now, the beautiful thing is no matter how unsatisfying your current life looks, no matter how unsatisfying your current business looks or your career or your education, no matter how unsatisfying any part of your life looks, you can actually build and hold onto a vision for something better than what you have today. Guess what? Also good news, no matter how excellent your life looks, there is still a place you can go that you've never been. There's still a person you can become that you've never become. And there's an example that your life can offer the world that it doesn't today. So let's talk about these dimensions. The first dimension of vision that you have to hold dear to your heart is a vision for your life. People have vision for their businesses and their careers, and these things are great. But it's so important for you to actually have a vision for your life in terms of 5 years from now, 3 years from now, even by the end of this year. This is the sort of person that I want to become, and this is the sort of life that I want to live. These are the kind of habits I want to form. These are the kind of relationships I want to build. These are the kind of experiences I would love to have. You see, the quality of life that we live is not a function of our economy primarily. It's first a function of our vision. How do I know this is true? There are people who earn better than others, but have a lower quality of life than those people, because it's really about catching a picture in your heart about where you want to go and how you want to live. And this is a first critical dimension. So you're here at the Evolve and Influence conference, but you have to remember that you're responsible for crafting a better life for yourself, right? And when I'm talking about a better life, I'm not speaking first to the estate you live in. I'm not speaking first to, I don't know what those metrics are that people are so excited about. I'm talking about real essence, real quality, you see, where you find yourself taking steps every day to ultimately becoming the person you prefer to become, a visionary, powerful, compassionate, influential change maker in the world. You have to carry a vision for your life. Number two, you have to carry a vision for others. You have to carry a vision for the people you lead, for the people you love, for the people you care about, for the people you serve, for the children you're raising. You know, you have to carry a vision for those who you're responsible for, who are accountable to you, those that you are serving through a business or serving through a ministry or serving through a nonprofit venture. This is how we really become legacy leaders, when we carry a selfless vision for others. So let's say you're a teacher in a school. It's not just a job that you earn from. You have to have a vision for your class, a vision for those young children. Let's say you're a medical doctor. You have to have a vision for your patients and say, over the course of the next 1 year, these are the kind of experiences I would love the people that I serve to have. If you're a parent, you should have a vision for your child or children and for your family. Yeah, right? If you're an employer of labor, you should have a vision for your organization as you have a vision for your employees. So the moment you start to envision a future, a better tomorrow for people, ideas start to flow to you, because compassion unlocks creativity. I've seen this happen so much, even as an author. I've found myself latching onto powerful ideas because I carried such a desire and a burden in my heart to use my resources, my coaching, my books, my ministry to impact people in the way that mattered the most to them. Number three, you actually have to carry a vision for the world, you see. And that is the bigger picture of your nation, of society, the culture we live in, the global economy, as far as your eyes can see. You actually have to really say, this is what a great world looks like to me. This is what, and this is where you get a chance to think about global issues. I know too many visionaries whose scope of vision is so small, and it just leads you into a shrunk space where you're thinking about yourself, your family, your business, your revenue, but you're not really situating your life and your role in the context of a global perspective. It matters. You can't solve all the problems in the world, but whenever you take a global perspective to issues, for example, the Sustainable Development Goals, there are people who don't know these 17 goals and who can categorically say, as a student, a career professional in tech or construction or hospitality, as a ministry person, as an entrepreneur, these are the kind of global issues that my work is addressing. When you take a global perspective to issues, I feel like your solutions are more rounded, more innovative, and they are more data-driven. And that is how we become global with whatever it is that we are doing. So the moment a caterer doesn't just feel like I cook the best rice in Calabar, but actually starts to say, I'm contributing to solving global poverty, food poverty. I'm solving global hunger, right? I'm part of the solutions to zero hunger as a goal in the world. I feel like it shifts your thinking, it shifts your confidence, it shifts your solutions. At number 4, we have to carry a vision for our contribution. What that means is the moment you start to carry a vision for the world and you're saying, this is what a great world looks like: a world without injustice, a world without corruption, a world without child abuse, a world without hunger, a world without poverty, a world without violence, right? You take it to the next level at number 4 and you start to say, what is my vision for how I want to contribute in the world, right? And that brings it home. It helps you know something that you can do. And so if you say, I'm passionate about an educated world, you can then say, every month, as part of my contribution to an educated world, I'm going to volunteer in a school once or twice a month, and I'm going to be just a volunteer mentor to these young girls. And I'll show them life skills and I'll contribute to their education. You're playing your part. And this is how we live rich, full, blessed lives. At number 5, you have to share in God's vision for the earth. If you're that sort of person who believes in the power of God's vision to change the world we live in, and you believe in the kingdom agenda, 100%, this is also an important dimension of vision in your life, where you start to say, where is God going? What is God doing? What matters, to the heavens in my dispensation and in my generation? And how can I stand up to be counted? Why this dimension of vision is so important and is such a great blessing is because wherever you serve from, you can be plugged into God's thoughts and God's plans, whether you are in healthcare or in energy, environment, fashion, entertainment, media, agriculture, education, technology, governance, business, ministry, anything. You can find God's heartbeat and you can plug yourself into an opportunity to serve his purpose. And this is a blessing. Now, let me take you to the final pillar, and I'm hoping you'll be able to do something with the activators. I want to show you 5 critical vision activators that have worked, continue to work, and will work for you too. What things can propel you in the path of discovering and actually deploying a life of vision? What can really help you place yourself in the midst of the powerful life that catches a vision, sees a vision, and seizes a vision, right? The first thing over here is burdens and persuasions. I know too many young people who don't have convictions, persuasions, or burdens. They're just, they're going through the tides and they're generally just okay, meeting their needs, get themselves a good job, travel to a different country of the world and just do their thing, right? But those of us who are going to be visionary leaders and live visionary lives, we require burdens. You have to have burdens and persuasions. A burden is an irrevocable desire to make something broken work again. A burden is an agitation that you carry in your heart about something that hurts in the earth, right? We need to be those kinds of people who look around us and we say, what can I do to make a difference? What can I do to make a difference? It's one of the most powerful questions you can ask in your life. And every time you start to think that way, answers come to you about something you can do today that contributes in a powerful way for those it matters for. The second thing is higher knowledge. You have to read your way out of mediocrity. You have to study your way out of normalized nonsense. You have to outgrow your habitual patterns of averageness. All of us have these spaces, and sometimes they're even blind spots. But you have to use the power of higher knowledge through books you're reading, a mentor you're following, a coach you're listening to, transformational leaders who are around you and can give you feedback about where you are. And the moment you start to see something greater and better than where you are today, you have to make a definitive commitment to grow And that gap between where you are and where you can go next is what helps you shape a vision to say, this is who I am and this is where I want to go next. And you build a vision and you set your goals as a journey to covering that evolution gap between where you are and where you want to go next. Number 3, catalytic communities. It's extremely important to actually situate yourself in catalytic communities. The easiest definition of a catalytic community is a community that has people who have your best interest at heart, people whose today current reality is an aspired future for you, and people who are heading in a similar direction as you, right? And that's why I've got a coaching membership that brings in men and women of like passion and a burden for growth and transformation in their lives and a great vision for the future, to learn, to connect, to create change together and add value to themselves. It's powerful. Find your networks, find professional bodies, find these communities, find these meaningful groups and power circles, and you see how your vision unlocks at the next level. Number 4, you need models of breakthrough. You need models of breakthrough, people who've gone ahead of you, who can provide you an inspirational template, not so that you copy and paste, but so that you can ramp up your conviction of what is possible. This one always works. Our vision for the future becomes strengthened the moment you catch an image of a person who has gone ahead of you, whether in your industry or across any industry, and it just ramps up your conviction that the vision you carry in your heart is possible. Guess what? Even if you didn't have a clear vision for your life, when you meet people who have triumphed their odds through the power of vision, it does something to you. And finally, divine purpose and assignments. Sometimes you're just going to grow your relationship with God to a point where He actually starts to say, work on this, go for this, do this. And that's what's happened to our host, the convener of the Evolve and Influence Conference. God placed a divine assignment in her hands, you see, to transform Calabar by raising leaders in that city and across the country, Nigeria. So 100%, I'm going to run you through the dimensions of vision again and the dimensions of activators that you need for your vision. You need a vision for your life, a vision for others, a vision for the world, a vision for your role as a contributor to that imagined future world, and you need God's vision for the earth. To activate vision in your heart and keep you going steady in the direction of that future, you need burdens and persuasions, things that really stir your heart. There should be something you're angry about, angry enough to want to fix. At number 2, you need higher knowledge in form of books and coaching, mentorship, right? Resources, feedback, and even personal revelation and inspiration. Number 3, you need catalytic communities, groups, networks, professional bodies, correct quality friends, and your power circles. Sometimes they could even be your siblings or your colleagues, but you have to know how to channel relationships for the highest benefits. At number 5, you need God's divine purpose and assignments placed in your spirit, activated to help you run into the future you see. I'm going to leave you again with these words coming through from Jonathan Swift, and it says, vision is the art of saying what is impossible to others. And I hope that from this conference, you actually catch an image of where you could go next. And it doesn't matter if others can't see it. If you can see it, it's actually going to lead you into the possibilities that you envision. Thank you for listening. Thank you for engaging.